Okay, next question is find two consecutive positive integers whose the sum of whose squares is 365. Now this time we have to find two consecutive positive integers. You know, consecutive, the meaning of consecutive is together, that is 1, 2 are consecutive, 1 and 2 are consecutive, 199 are consecutive, and also we need positive integers, sum of whose squares is 365. So we'll initiate with let the numbers be x and 1 more than x or 1 less than x, whatever way you can choose, because if you are assuming x as 2, then x minus 1 would be 1. If you are assuming x as 99, then x plus 1 would be 100. So in any way you can choose, but you have to just make sure that the difference between these two should be 1. Okay, so let the numbers be x and x plus 1, and according to question, the sum of whose squares, so this is also very important thing, sum of whose squares, that is plural is there, so we need two squares, that is x square and x plus 1 the whole square and their sum. See, this is the difference between sum of squares and square of the sum. A plus b the whole square, this means this is square of the sum, and if I write a square plus b square, this means sum of the squares, So there is a difference, big difference between square of the sum and sum of the squares. So this was sum of the squares. So sum of the squares is equal to 365. So let us simplify this. That is x square, we'll expand here with a plus b the whole square, a square plus 2ab plus b square, which is equal to 365. That is 2x square plus 2x minus 364, which is equal to 0. We divide the whole equation by 2, we get x square plus x minus 182 is equal to 0. Now again we can split the middle term by 13 and 14, because 182 is 13 into 14, and plus 1 we need, and minus 82, so we can take minus 13 and plus 14. So if we take minus 13 and plus 14, we can split the middle term and we can factorize like this, and after reaching this step we can write either x minus 13 is equal to 0 or x plus 14 is equal to 0. And if x minus 13 is equal to 0, we will have x is equal to 13, or if x plus 14 is equal to 0, we will get x is equal to minus 14. And according to the question, we are in search of positive integers, and as per the quadratic equation, for this quadratic equation x square plus x minus 182, there are two roots for this equation, that is x is equal to 13 also will satisfy this, and x is equal to minus 14 also will satisfy this equation, but not this situation. I hope this is clear. See, there are two roots of this quadratic equation, 13 and minus 14, but this minus 14 we will not accept for this practical question, because the question was to find positive integers, and since we have assumed x and x plus 1 as consecutive positive integers only, so if we can mention here, let the numbers be x and x plus 1, let the positive numbers be x and x plus 1. So x is equal to minus 14 is neglected, is not accepted. So what we are going to accept is 13, and if x is 13, that is one number is 13, then the other number as per our assumption was x plus 1, that is 13 plus 1, that is 14. So you can see 13 and 14 are consecutive numbers, and they are their product is, sum of their squares also will be, squares would be 365.